What is going on, PTSD buddies? Haven't done a live broadcast in a long time because I've been dying with a cold for, man, it seems like forever. I've been dying with a cold. I still got a touch of the cold, so as I'm talking here, I might cough a bit. And I'm also doing some work here on PTSD Buddies and looking at some stuff. But I did want to have a little chat because I wanted to say out loud, PTSD Buddies is a non-profit organization. Yeah, sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool because it's true. We got our non-profit corporation status today. So that is pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, I think it's pretty cool. It's a stepping stone or a step in the right direction or whatever. But while I'm broadcasting live, I am looking at what seems to be some kind of issue about triggers and the word trigger. Give me a second. I got to read something here. Hang on a second. So yeah, some people are saying that having a trigger warning alone can be a trigger for people. Well, you know what? Anybody can be triggered by anything. I mean, if someone's texting me. If somebody, sorry, people are texting me now. That's my wife trying to text me. It would be really hard to cover all the bases to not trigger everybody. If you know how, please post it so I can do that, because I don't know how to please everybody. I can't even please both of my children. So help me out with that. But you know, when I first come up with the idea to put the trigger warning, it wasn't just for every story that you think is triggering. I meant it for trauma stories. Like, if I'm going to tell a story about Afghanistan where people got blown up, that's going to be graphic. Trigger warning. You know, that's what I was first thinking of. If a police officer told a story about a person dying with graphic material, because sometimes people want to tell that graphic material. I don't know why, but I was the same way. I wanted to get it off my chest, right? But that's what I'm talking about with a trigger warning. I mean, yes, I'm sure seeing the word trigger warning might trigger somebody. But if you got a better idea, then what do you put there? All right, hang on. What's this? Being a PTSD buddy, being a PTSD group, we are going to end up triggering someone, no matter how careful we are. Of course, we are thousands in our group right now, and to not trigger somebody, good luck, buddy, good luck. But I recognize the problem. If you guys call it a problem, having trigger warning. But I'm military, so all I got to say to that is, don't just give me a problem, give me a solution. Anyone can pick and point problems, but what's the solution? What's the better word? Because you got to put some kind of warning. You can't just have people reading into it and all of a sudden, oh, they're talking about dead babies. Oh, well, that could be a good trigger, you know. Okay, going back here. It's in the details that can be triggering. It's much easier to swallow a warning than the details. Yeah, exactly, Rebecca. I mean, what would you guys write? I mean, we can just put up a bunch of and symbols or at symbols or something else besides the word trigger. If the word trigger is triggering you, then we can change that. We can use a different word. But what I'm trying to say is if you see the problem, then what's the solution? I mean, yeah, you can wait for us admins to come up with the solution, but I said it before, man. Yeah, I'm the guy who started PTSD Buddies but I'm not no trained nothing, man. I got a few courses in mental health, but I'm no trained professional. I like to let the members tell me what they need. Because in my mind, everyone's different, man. Everyone needs something different. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tell you that whatever works for you, use it. And we fucking, us at PTSD Buddies, we lean on each other, man. You know, like, so you, oh, hang on, someone else saying. Don't be sorry, Jason, man. There's nothing to be sorry about. Right? There's never nothing to be sorry about. We're all growing together, right? We're all learning from each other. And I know this for a fact, man. Like, there are times that some members have sent me messages and blast, right? Give me, and yeah, it hurts. But I understand we're all dealing with mental illnesses, man. So, like, we're all dealing with PTSD. We're going to have moments where we're going to snap and say things we don't mean. And I know me, and I think Jason feels the same way. I have a hard time explaining myself sometimes and getting my point across. The words don't come out right. Maybe just a few words detailing the story. For example, short story below. Yeah, anything. I mean, if you guys want to use a different word, right? If that's what it is, if it's the trigger that's triggering, which I get it, man. It makes sense to me, right? We can use a different word. I'll even put it in the guidelines. Right? All the guidelines that are in PTSD Buddies, I never wrote. I created a group, and as the group grew, the guidelines grew. You know, they were created by the members, and that's why the guidelines are working, because they're created by the members. They're what the members needed to grow, right? So, as the guidelines have grown, the guidelines have changed a little bit too, right? They're always going to change a little bit because people grow, people change. We're going to change the guidelines a little bit and tweak them a little bit. They're probably never going to be perfect, but maybe they will. I don't know. But PTSD Buddies is definitely growing in the right direction. You know, we've grown so much that we're not just sharing stories. We're looking after each other. We're worrying that what we're ourselves are doing is going to trigger someone else. You know, it's pretty cool though. We're really looking after each other, and I don't mind saying it, man. We're a family. We are. As fast as someone's hurting, there's someone there to help out. Hey, Hooky, wait, Hooky, my one of my executive directors of PTSD Buddies now is on paper and everything. Yeah, sometimes we honestly don't reread what we put in the comments sections or messages to others before sending it out. Could possibly trigger or hurt someone. Yeah, man. I know a lot of times I just throw out words. Man, years ago I used to do to my family, man. Don't even realize what you're saying. All right? And words hurt, man. Yeah. I realize my words may have hurt this person, and that was not what I was meaning to do, and I feel very bad. And I did this. That is my whole. I made this video. Yeah, I know, Jason. Oh, man. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think we all do, man. Like, we never mean to hurt somebody. Oh my God, there's so many comments. We never meant to hurt anybody. I know I never mean to hurt anybody. We're just trying to grow. We're trying to look after each other, right? This whole group was based on peer support, to which we all help each other. Sometimes we are going to say things that will trigger others. Well, support from that's true, Stacy. I mean, like, look on Facebook, look in the news. Everyone's offended by something. Everybody, like, you don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what to call people no more, male, female, and what gender, and I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm so quiet all the time. It's because I don't know what to say, because I don't want to piss nobody off, right? Yeah. I left this group because I was accused of triggering something. She was triggered, but put me into such a spin. I became recluse for 3 days. Barb talked me in. Yeah, that's good. We're glad you're back, Raylene. I mean, I've been there too, but there's a lot of guilt with PTSD. I need a drink. There's a lot of guilt with PTSD. You think you're such a burden. You think you triggered somebody, right? Hang on. When you think you've triggered somebody, I find that's a really crappy feeling, because a person with PTSD knows how ugly it can be when they're triggered. So I guess if a person with PTSD, if they feel they've triggered someone else, they really, you feel really bad, because you're bringing the worst out of that person, and you've caused that person to feel triggered or feel anxiety and everything, man, right? How much responsibility should the offended person take for their response? Personally, ownership of or emotional response. Oh man, tough question, Lisa. Damn. How much responsibility should someone? Well, how about if I answer like this? This is how I would judge if I was going to remove someone out of the group. If somebody posts something, and then somebody put up a rude comment, right away I remove the rude comment, or an admin would remove the comment, and we would message that person, because I'm not going to remove the person right away, because, like I said, a lot of times we get triggered, and we just say things in anger, right? And we don't mean it. But if the person is putting up rude comment and realizes they're triggering the person and not stopping, then I'm going to boot you. It's one thing to do it by accident. It's one thing to trigger somebody by accident. It's another thing to do it on purpose and continue to do it. That way you're gone and you're blocked. But if someone triggers someone by accident, they're usually apologetic. They usually jump all over it and realize it, right? Sometimes they don't realize it, and when you point it out to them, they're very sorry. That has happened so many times in PTSD Buddies. And once they apologize, or once they say they're sorry, whatever, life goes on. But I have seen people who will say something, and then they trigger the person, and it's almost like they realize they triggered the person, and they're like, you shouldn't be triggered because of what I'm saying. You know what? Stop fucking judging, man. What you're saying is triggering, so you need to knock it off. It doesn't matter if you think what you're saying it shouldn't be triggering to that person. You're not that person. That's my opinion, right? If someone said beer caps are a trigger for me, so you can't have them around me, I'm not going to say, well, that's dumb. No, I'm going to say, okay, well, if he comes over, there ain't going to be no beer caps here. But that's my opinion. I hope that kind of answers. This group has been a lifeline and a savior for me more than once, and the members have pulled me from the darkness. That's big words, Tristan, and I tell you, you've been a big help on the admin staff, buddy. Thanks, Lisa. To answer, could we use the words possible stressor instead of trigger? Sounds good to me. I think if that's what people want. I mean, I tell you what we can do is, and if any admins are listening, create a poll. You know how you can go in there and create a poll? Create a poll, make a list of words that we want to use that could be possible labels for, to replace the trigger word, and let's let the members vote. And whatever the top two are, that's the labels that we'll now put up for trauma stories. Does that sound cool? Jamie, how's the weather? Sunny. Yeah, thanks, Frank. It's we're actually getting freezing rain tomorrow. Freezing rain. So, all right, Frank. All right, I got to go for a second because my wife is texting me. There's something going on, but I'm going to be back online in a second, all right? And we're going to finish this conversation.